It's me, SOS. Hi, it's me, Sly Elsewhere. And you're back for another episode of ASMR with the Apocalypse Bros. And we're back with the Apocalypse Bros. And today, we have a special guest to be on. We mentioned very casually the concept of people with superpowers in the apocalypse. And we have actually found a number of these characters, both superhero and supervillain, who are interested in being on the podcast with us, which we'll talk about a little bit more later. But today we'll be speaking with an actual supervillain.
My goodness.
A villain.
That sounds scary.
It's like dun dun dun.
Exactly. Cue the villain music.
I already did it.
Oh. Cue the villain music.
Cue the post-villain music.
There's the post, what happens after the after show.
Yeah, usually it's like some kind of intimidating.
Exactly.
Maybe
when he's when he's making up his schemes. Cue that music. Whatever that. The scheme music. Yes. The scheming song. That's something else. Can we get sued for that?
Maybe. I don't know. Probably not.
Alex Trebek.
Anyways, so we're going to jump into the headlines before we get to our extra special guest. So make sure that you stay tuned through the headlines for this special guest who's going to be great and tell us about his evil, dastardly deeds.
I imagine what he was be saying about his dastardly deeds.
As he's sitting in the other room waiting for us to call him into the studio.
Get in here,
he's
guy.
He's just got his hands together. He's tapping his fingers against each other, and he's going...
Or he's just in the bathroom pooping.
Yeah, it's also very true. I mean, it's nice to offer our guests that. Anyways, to the headlines. Sly, you want to hit us with the first one?
So it looks like we've seen a... not a cure, but a very good treatment. We've seen, seems to look like steroids are really working to help combat at least the illnesses that have gone along with the coronavirus. So, we've seen a lot of people taking steroids. It's become very, for whatever reason, popular and a very large usage rate in Austria.
Interesting. And obviously we're still trying to find out what kind of application they might have in curing ronaromerism. But in the meantime, we actually have somebody calling in from Austria to tell us about how they have recovered from the coronavirus by using these steroids. His name is, I don't know, what was his name, Sly?
I believe Stephen?
Oh, Stephen.
Yes.
Or is it Stefan?
It's Stephen.
Stephen.
Yes. Stephin. Stephen.
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 Oh, Stephen. Oh, yeah, you gotta say it. All right.
Stephen.
All right. Well, now that we've officially butchered his name multiple times, Stephen, could you tell us a little bit about your experience with the coronavirus and being more or less cured and alleviated by using steroids?
Yes, hello, my name is Stephen, as you have stated very clearly and well, and yes, we have used these steroids to help combat any of these illnesses with the coronavirus, as you call it there, the COVID-19, and we want to make sure that all of us are healed so that we're ready for the upcoming competitions.
Ooh, competitions, what do you guys got coming?
Well, we have, of course, the weightlifting competitions by our overlord, Arnold Schwarzenegger. He's, of course, one of our most popular Austrians that you may know of. He was in certain movies like the Terma Predator and Kindergarten Coppola. I'm sure that's the translation there.
Yes, I believe I've seen both of those films, and they were fantastic. And obviously, Arnold Schwarzenegger is a national treasure, both here and apparently in Austria.
Yes, we have many statues of him.
Yes. And for a time, he was actually governor, I believe.
Yes, and he was also governor of our hearts.
Oh, of course, yes. No, we all absolutely loved him, especially after he got to the chopper.
Yes, he get to the chopper very many times.
Yes, he did. Awesome. Well, thank you, Steve Finn, for telling us a little bit about recovering, and we're excited, and we'll be cheering for you in the upcoming competitions.
Thank you. I'm running the 700.
The 700.
The 700.
Is that kilometers where you're at?
That's 700 kilometers, yes. I'm running 533 of it, and the rest of it I'm going to be boating using fish bones to boat, and I have a tree that I have cored out for my canoe.
Oh, wow. They even have you build your own.
Yes.
Interesting. All right. Well, thank you again for being on.
Thank you for having me.
All right. Goodbye.
Goodbye.
All right. So that was Steven from Austria telling us about how they are using, again, steroids to start sort of curing and alleviating the symptoms of coronavirus. Next up, we have another headline. This one hails from the U.S. And recently, a number of individuals were at a sort of a settlement that was outside of a small airport.
Oh, this one. This is a good one. I saw this one today, too.
Yeah. No, it's really interesting. So they're in this settlement outside of a small airport, and they noticed something very strange. They had reports of a flying person outside of the airport, kind of going testing on the runway almost, it seemed like.
If birds were meant to fly, they would have feathers. I think is what people told their Wright brothers back in the day.
Right.
Probably with that voice.
Did they say with birds or of humans?
Of people. Wait,
Yeah,
what did I say?
You said birds.
If people were meant to fly, they'd have feathers.
If birds were meant to fry, they'd have oil.
Yes.
Anyway,
I think everything has a little bit of oil in it.
That's true. It does. Even our fingers, we got oil. Anyways,
clams.
That's right. So, anyways, yes, these individuals said claimed to have seen a person that was flying like in the air around this airport, and this has gotten back obviously to us and into the news and such. And we have two experts that we spoke to and interviewed recently, and we have the recording here of what those two experts had to say about these reports of this flying person. Now, these are experts in the sense that they've been around for a long time. That's all we really gauged as far as their expertise. So please welcome, as we play this recording of us interviewing these experts. I guess it really wasn't so much of an interview as we asked them, how do you feel about these reports? And they just kind of talked from there. We didn't get a word in edgewise. No. It was just them. So anyway, here's the recording. Slide, you want to hit the play button on there?
Hello? Is this thing on?
Yes, it's on. Could you please state your names and then please tell us a little bit about your expertise and your feelings towards this report of a flying person?
Hello?
You're on.
Oh, okay, my name's Merle. And my name is Sylvester. Hello, Sylvester. Merle, we had bagels together earlier. You know who I am. Oh, you're the one who stole the cream cheese. I love cream cheese. It's one of the few things I can chew. The creamier, the cheesier, the better. I like the one with the strawberry flavoring. Wait, what was the question again? They want to know about the flying man. Oh, the flying man. The man that was flying in the air. Yeah, the reports came in and said there was a flying man at this airport. Yeah, we saw him. You remember seeing him there, Sylvester? I didn't see nothing. Oh, that's because you had your glasses. I said, Sylvester, you know what I said? I said that we need to make sure that you put your glasses on because there's a man flying in the air and the pilot just asked us if we could check it out. Remember when he radioed in? Sylvester, wake up! We're in an interview. Oh, the flying man. Oh my gosh, I was having a nightmare. Oh, so you remember seeing him then? No, he was in your subconscious. No, I was dreaming that I was the flying man. Oh, how was it? It was terrible. It was so cold up there. You know, that's what you don't think about up in the air so high. It's very cold. That's right. If you jump out of an airplane like 30,000 feet, you'll freeze to death before you hit the ground. That's what they don't tell you about in the autopsy reports. That's terrible. Now let me tell you a little bit about something. I've been around for a long time. That's why they asked me about this. I'm an expert. You turned 97 this week, Sylvester. That's what your wife Sylvie told me. Don't talk about my wife Sylvie in front of me, okay? Okay. I don't want to hear it. Okay. I don't want to hear it. Okay. I'll talk about your wife. Okay. My wife? Your wife, that's right. That's what I said. I love my wife. So you darn wife lover. I don't know. Okay. Sorry. Okay. Anyways, this man is flying. So they say. My theory is it was a large bird, maybe an albatross, mind you, and he had maybe he picked up a small child, and he was flying away to feed it to his babies. That's my theory. Babies? Yeah. No, it was a flying man, not a flying baby. No, it picked up a baby and was flying with the baby. Oh, the large albatross. Yeah, it was maybe an albatross. Flying the babies to his babies? Maybe an eagle. Oh, yeah. Preferably bald, like yourself. Well, that checks out. You're one to call me bald. That's like a baseball calling a softball round. It's both true. I'll call you round. Okay, I let myself go a little bit. You're round, bald-headed? It's because we're sitting here talking about expertise things like flying men. Why did they ask you to be here, Merle? What are you an expert on? I'm an expert on air temp. The air temp. Like the temperature of air? Like it's 75 degrees out. Oh, like how... Did you know that? No, I didn't check. That's why I'm an expert. Oh, that's fair. So you checked today. Also, I'm an expert in reading barometers. Oh, that's pretty good. Those things can get pretty confusing. The one thing I can tell you about the barometer at this time when they saw this, there's no way there could have been a man. The air pressure was way too dense. It's too dense. That's right. Too dense. It could not have survived up there. So what they probably saw. Do you want my estimate on what they saw there, Sylvester? Absolutely, Merle. Absolutely. Okay, I'll tell that sly healthcare and that POS. PMS. PMS, that's his name? Yeah. PMS and sly healthcare. Sly healthcare, okay. Just like all the healthcare out there. Oh yeah. The second you turn 65? 65. The second you turn 65, it gets real sly. Oof, way up there, yeah. They don't tell you what you don't have. You don't even listen to AARP. They say you got this, but you don't have this. They never tell you about the things I don't have. They all just want your butt stuff. Oh, the butt stuff. Always about the butt stuff. And then they say, just drink your prune juice. They just give you prune juice. It's true, they don't even ask you. But hey, it's another topic. Anyway, another time. We're experts on a lot of stuff. When you get to our ages, I mean, especially Sylvester is way older than I am. Alright, don't pipe down, sonny. Okay, so anyway, like I said, it was way too dense for someone to be alive up there. What happens to somebody that's in the air when it's too dense? Your lungs collapse. Oh my gosh. Yeah, so your lungs just get squashed. It's kind of like a submarine. Sometimes it feels like my lungs get squashed. Oh, that's a COPD. Oh, that's what they call it. I forgot about that. I didn't read the pamphlet. The pamphlet? Yeah, they gave us a pamphlet about COPD, but I didn't have my reading glasses. You know, when I'm on the toilet, sometimes I like to read random pamphlets that I get. Yeah, that's why they put them there. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, that's why we're experts and stuff. Just don't. Yeah, that's true. We spent a lot of pamphlets. You know, I had a really good night's sleep the other night. I fell asleep on the toilet and the cushion. You know that cushion toilet I got? Yeah. The Doris got me. Oh, yeah. Yeah, it's really nice and soft. Well, I was sitting on it, reading a pamphlet. Boom, fell asleep. Next thing I knew, it was 4 in the morning. Goodness. Best night of sleep I've had in a year. You gotta go out and check on the farm animals. You get one of them soft ones. Oh, yeah. Anyways. So, yeah, I think what was up there was a pig. I mean, it's a Coronapocalypse, so I think it was a pig. You know what pigs fly? I think we're at the pigs fly stage. Oh, no. I think it was a pig. I mean, not really flying, because that's insane, but... If that's the case, then Jimmy Pepsalot owes me $20. He said he'd give me $20 when the pigs fly. Well, I think it was a pig tied to a lot of balloons. You know, these kids, they play the crazy pranks. Oh, yeah. And I think it was a pig tied to balloons up in the sky. It looked like a man. Do you think that's a good theory? I like that. Do you think they used helium or do they just blow into the balloons? Probably the helium. I don't know if you can blow into it and make it work. But is there any helium left? Helium? It's helium. It's lighter than air. Yeah, but they say that we're running out on the Earth. That's because the kids are using it. They think it's funny. Yeah, because they suck it into their lungs and it makes their voices get really high. Yeah, like this. Idiots. Oh, I got helium in my voice. Oh, kids. It's so funny. I can do it all by myself. Man, back in my day, we would just take rat poisoning. I remember that. And that would just give us energy to go on for days. You just gotta take a little bit of it. And if you want your voice to get really low, then you eat lead paint. Yes, and that's how you get your voice really low. Yeah, like this. See, that's why kids aren't living very long days. They're not doing that stuff to toughen their immune systems up. What, we're like 90... various 90 You're 97. Like I said, you're way older than me. I'm only 96 and a half.
I tend to forget, but I only forget my age.
You only forget your age.
I'm not senile, and I'm not, what's the condition called where you forget things?
Denial.
I see what you did there. I see what you did there, and I like it.
You like that?
Take your inhaler. That a boy. Yeah, let it out.
You know, that's so fresh.
That is.
It's the freshest
It
thing.
makes you kind of dizzy.
Anyway, what was the question there, Sly?
Oh, yeah. So basically, no way was a person.
Oh, yeah.
It was either an albatross that had taken a small child or a pig that was tied to a large number of helium balloons.
That's my guess too there, Sylvester.
All right, this interview's over with.
Yes, as they said, back to you.
I'm gonna go get more bagels.
No, I'm coming with you.
And those were our experts.
And believe it or not, that was the edited version.
Yes, we spent a good 3 hours in the studio. At one point, they both were just napping.
Yes.
One of them had cream cheese on his nose.
And at one point, we were both napping, and Anthony had cream cheese on his nose.
Yeah, it's possible that he licked the cream cheese off the man's nose.
It's very
and
possible.
then it got on his nose.
We don't know what happened when we fell asleep.
The cream cheese was everywhere.
All we know is it was 3 hours because we checked our sundial outside, and it was 3 hours from when we started the interview.
That's right. So, anyways, that was their take, the experts' take on this concept of a man that was flying. Maybe it was a man. Maybe it was a bird. Maybe it was a plane.
Maybe it was a pig.
Maybe it was a pig. And maybe it was an albatross. Who
Anything's
knows?
possible in the Coronapocalypse.
That's right. So, we're going to move into our guest star, and we'll just let you guys kind of figure that flying man, yes or no concept out on your own. So, again, as we mentioned before, our guest star today is going to be a supervillain. He goes by the name Dr. Death. Welcome to the show, Dr. Death.
Well, hello.
Now, do you prefer Dr. Death or Doc Death, or do you have preference?
Dr. Death, obviously.
Full title.
Right.
Full title.
Not
Full
Doctor.
title.
Not Doctor
What I
D.
deserve.
Yeah, that's fair.
Now, out of curiosity, how does one get? Well, actually, I guess. Well, yeah, no, that's a fair question. How does one get a doctorate's degree in death?
It's not a mail-in order. I don't know what you're talking about. It's definitely a legitimate college.
Of course,
No,
of course.
it's a 2-page form.
Awesome.
Oh.
And what kind of studies went along with the study of death?
Evil
Evil studies.
and death. Evil, obviously.
Obviously, he went to the school of hard evils.
Now, did you have a major, a double major, major minor? What was your field as far as that went specifically?
Reanimation was my major.
Oh.
Minored in a little bit of culinary as well. I do
sure.
like to cook.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, that's just a generally good skill to have and
Very
kind of
true.
know the secrets of.
And who doesn't love a good animation? You know, I love me some anime.
Love me. Now, is that Japanese reanimation or is that American reanimation?
The American version, obviously.
Oh, okay. Fair enough. Now, Dr. Death, I'm sure that the question on everybody's mind, those who surprisingly haven't heard of you, because your name has gotten around quite a bit in the post-apocalypse. But for those who haven't heard of you yet and haven't heard about your evil endeavors, what powers do you have as a supervillain of the post-apocalypse?
If you haven't noticed, we started having a little problem with with the Rona. What did you call them?
The Rona Roamers?
The
Yes.
Rona Roamers. I have the ability to control them.
Really?
Yes.
Have you been speaking with Bill Gates by chance? Did he help you get these powers?
Yes, he's out of the loop now.
Oh, okay. So he was involved, but now he's cut out. Possibly literally.
We'll
who knows?
just say he's now working more full time under
Oh.
me.
Oh, boy.
Okay. So he's almost more involved.
Less alive involved and more dead
Oh.
involved.
Gotcha.
There's more
gotcha.
Rona Roamer involved, it sounds like.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
He's Roman. So you have the ability to control the Rona Roamers or these sort of zombie-esques of the Coronapocalypse, as we've come to know them, and they are a terrifying creature to be confronted by. Definitely more terrifying the larger the numbers within a crowd of Rona roamers, of course. So, what sort of things do you, as a supervillain, kind of command these Rona roamers to do?
First off, I now live the life of luxury. Anything I want, I'll send a horde of them out to go get. I want something you have? Good luck. I will send hundreds or thousands after you.
Wow.
That's a lot of Rona roamers.
That is a lot of Rona roamers.
So they get you your stuff. That makes sense. They're kind of gatherers in a sense, or more like raiders, almost. Actually, would be a better word for that.
They're the Rona roaming raiders.
The RRR. Team RRR.
The triple R's.
It sounds like a pirate.
Starts to become too many R's.
Yeah.
Eventually, I think
Team
they say that
Becomes
strikes
a branding
fear.
issue at that point.
That strikes fear in the hearts of all who hear it.
That's right. So, okay, they get you your stuff. Is there anything else you have them do?
Of course, my daily chores. I don't lift a finger here anymore.
Sure.
Laundry right now. Gerald's over there. He's folding. No, 3, not 2. Yeah, they never get it right.
It is tough, especially with the sleeves.
Yeah.
The sleeves.
Yeah, no, he's crumpling the sleeves again. We'll deal with that
And
later.
don't even get me started on those fitted sheets. There's no way to fold those effectively.
Yeah, I had 3 of them working on that for like 2 hours.
Yeah.
But
Well,
you know
hey.
what? I didn't have to do it myself.
That's true, and you've got plenty to work with. I'm sure. I'm sure you have plenty of Ronas. You could send like 1 per pair of underwear and shirt.
Sounds like it.
It's not a bad life.
I wouldn't imagine it. Dishes, they can handle dishes.
Only way I'll do it.
That
I hate
actually sounds
dishes.
pretty good. Oh, I do too. Those are the worst. That's
Yeah,
like
I think
the
that might
worst
be the
chore you
worst
can do.
chore.
So you send them to go get stuff. I'm assuming you've probably run into some people along that direction. You know, some of the various survivors, citizens, etc. That probably aren't huge fans of that. I'd assume.
Apparently, they don't approve of me being carried on a giant throne by an army of the undead.
Well, you know, I don't know. I could see it from both angles, I suppose. You know, some people.
Yeah, when you're murdering their family, they tend to not approve.
Sure. Do you ever have anybody that doesn't approve to a point where they've fought back before, whether they be citizens or something else?
Oh, of course. I've had my fair run-ins with the normal civilian populace, and every now and again you get a superhero that tries to take a little swing at you. Only minor league ones so far. I'm waiting for my true big match.
Your
But
big nemesis.
we'll see. Big nemesis. We're putting some want ads out for that.
Right. It's true. Every great hero has a great nemesis and villain, so I'm sure someday you'll find yours.
Right. The turn lead to gold guy was not very fun.
Sure. Well, did he cause you too much of an issue, or was he pretty easy to deal with since all he could do is turn lead into gold?
30 seconds. He lasted 30 seconds.
Oh, you know, that's better than some can say, I suppose.
You know, I've heard that guy. He's pretty much all about showing stuff off that he turns into gold. So I'd imagine in a fight he wouldn't be much use. He would just be like, "Oh yeah, well look what I can do," and then while
Great infomercial.
Yeah.
Not so good.
Yeah, right. Very
Not
true.
good. So good in combat.
I mean, goodness, what's he gonna do? He's gonna throw gold stuff at me. He's gonna throw gold at me? Oh no!
I am gonna miss those late night infomercials with him on my TV. Though.
That's right. That's right.
My
Where
bad.
He would take something breakable and then he'd turn something of lead into gold and then just smash it into the breakable thing and say, "That's how we do it."
You know, that was his catchphrase.
That's how we do it.
Anthony got me a shirt, a leftover shirt.
Did he
from-
really?
Yeah.
Was it gold?
There was some boxes. No, this one was not. It was
Wasn't
just
gold
shirt.
lined?
No,
Oh, okay.
no, we didn't.
Well, shoot.
I,
I was gonna
think
say,
I think these must have been the manufacturer defects ones, the ones that were supposed to get the gold lining but didn't. So I think they were kind of thrown out. I think that was where Anthony found them at the old abandoned factory out there.
Sure.
So-
I heard he was a big fan favorite because when people would go to get their thing signed, he'd pick up a pencil, he'd write his name on it, and then he'd touch the well, wait, that's not actually lead. That's graphite, isn't it?
Yes.
That was a myth.
That
was
wasn't
a
it.
fake
I think that
myth.
was people thought that that's how it worked, but it
Yeah.
unfortunately did not.
No, that wouldn't work. Awkward. Well, he's gone now, so who cares? I guess. So, okay. So, out of curiosity, do you have any theories on? I mean, there's been a number of people with superpowers or what have you that have been seeming to pop up. I mean, you included, that pop up across the wasteland. I mean, I'm sure there's probably a number of reasons, but is there any one reason you can think of that might be causing a number of these powered individuals to kind of start popping up as of recent?
Good question.
My theory has always been former governments had testing facilities. The apocalypse happened and things got let out.
Sure, that makes sense. And then on top of it, you've got the sanitation union, which is kind of our current government system as much as there really is one. As we've talked about before, they're kind of a conglomerate of some of the surviving companies, mostly toilet paper companies and other toiletries and cleaning product companies that have survived through the Coronapocalypse and then band together to create a sort of government system. I'm sure they've had their own, I don't know, what experiments and concoctions that have probably gotten loose since then.
Oh yeah, sure.
Seems to be a convenient amount of superheroes with backed by them.
Sure.
Now
Makes you wonder.
that does bring me to my
make you wonder.
That does bring me to my next question. What is the difference between a superhero and supervillain? Like, what makes one or the other? I mean, obviously, we think superheroes, stopping what we would consider the bad guys, and you being the supervillains. But what makes one decide to be a villain versus deciding to be a hero? I mean, surely you could use your powers for good, even controlling the undead. So how does that work?
Oh, because it's all about number one, me. I want everything to be about me. I want your stuff. I don't want to earn it myself. And you're in my way.
Gotcha.
That's a fair point.
Superheroes would be too nice about it.
So you feel that you've come to accept the title of a supervillain. Like, you're comfortable with that.
Oh, yes.
Fair enough. I mean,
This is the era of supervillains.
oh,
And I am going to be number one.
It is. I mean, it's true. We kind of live in a sort of lawless land.
it's true.
The sanitation union obviously has some guidelines that they expect people to live by, for their benefit, of course. But once you get outside of kind of the inner parts of the wasteland, the outer, it's difficult to obviously control any of that stuff. So yes, I could see definitely villains having kind of the upper hand.
Yeah, that makes sense. I mean, when it comes down to it, it's like the old saying, you either die a superhero or you live long enough to eventually just become a supervillain yourself.
That's true.
So, I guess when it comes down to it, every superhero is just a supervillain in a few years or something along those lines.
Probably get sick of sticking up for people that really don't care.
That's true.
Fighting is like, wait, I have powers. Why don't I just get my own stuff?
That's true.
Now, I will say, in the case of you, Dr. Death, that I appreciate your honesty and upfrontness about your story. And it's not some sap story that you see so many villains these days talk about. Well, the society
mistreated me.
Exactly. I was rejected by those who I just sought to love, and I'm just trying to show people what happens when you do that. Blah blah blah. My mission is so pure. Blah blah blah. Good people are actually evil. Blah blah blah. You're just like, bro, I want stuff without having to work for it, and I don't like dishes.
Exactly.
And
I'm living the dream.
Now I can appreciate that honesty.
Yeah. So what's out of curiosity, as a supervillain like yourself, with your persona of Dr. Death, do you have a specific outfit that you like to wear when you're out raiding these towns, showing off to the people your powers, things like that? Do you have a special look?
Oh yes, I do like the white lab coat and black pants and the black shirt. Gotta represent that I'm a doctor from far away.
It's perfect branding.
Yes. Gotta make sure that branding's on point.
Absolutely, because then when you go by, everybody says, "Oh, that guy looks like a doctor." And then even if they've only vaguely heard of you, they go, "Wait a minute, this must be Dr. Death."
Yep.
It's like, boom, your name is already in their minds.
Very true.
They already understand, and if they haven't been turned into Rona rumors yet, you might be in their minds soon.
Yeah, it's only a matter of time. But come to realize it, usually it's about a 30-second lead up.
What area do you control, or do you hope to have a large control over at the time being?
Right now, I relatively move around. People seem to keep turning into these Rona roamers. So, well, I might have something to be doing with that. And I keep wanting more and more. So I gotta keep moving around to these little settlements. Soon, I will have one of the largest armies in the history of humankind.
Oh, okay. Well, that's a good goal. Always, want to have a big goal, right? Gotta have those small goals.
Big goal on the whiteboard.
There you go.
That's right. Now, do you ever have any frustrations with your Rona roamers? I mean, they're not very intelligent most times. Like, do they ever get on your nerves? Do you ever find it frustrating to move such a large, army of Rona roamers from place to place? How's that kind of go?
Oh, don't even talk about it. It's like herding cats sometimes. Some of them they start to become injured and fall down and cause issues even in movements.
They're all tripping over each other.
Reggie over there has been standing in the corner for 2 hours. And I wanted a cup of coffee, but I guess that's not happening.
Oh no! It doesn't sound like it. He sounds like he's a little preoccupied with something on the wall. Maybe, who knows?
He was a politician. There wasn't much up there anyways to begin with.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
That makes sense. So, all right. So you've got all these Rona roamers, things like that. You move, you get everything you want. You raid towns, all that stuff. Do you ever feel for the people whose towns you're raiding? Is there ever like an emotional relate to that?
I am still human a little bit. Sometimes I'll feel bad, and then I get hungry, and then we're back to being
square
mean.
one.
Oh, there you go.
Back to square one. I might leave you if I think you'll grow me some more food that I can take later, but
Sure,
that's about
sure.
it.
That makes sense. So you kind of like some of these towns and settlements that you come across, I'm sure you kind of leave in place, but with you like as the ruler over it. So like you might leave and then you'll be like, well, I'll be back for taxes or whatever the case.
I can leave a small group. Have Rona roamers around. They protect some of my farmers, and I'll get their food. And if they mess up,
No,
it's over.
they better not. Bottom line.
Exactly.
Now, do you ever find that the sanitation union, this sort of government entity per se, has ever kind of fought back against you at all?
Until I have a large enough army, I'm trying to avoid their space.
Sure.
I don't really feel like coming head to head yet
Sure. Strategy.
with them.
Yeah.
We're still working our way up to the major leagues. We're in the minor leagues still right now.
Okay, that's fair. And I'm sure, obviously, you got to kind of push past some of those heroes, prove yourself against some of those heroes that are out there and those other super powered individuals before you can really turn around and say, all right, we're coming for you next, big government organization.
It's a lot of resources
Sure.
to put all at once. And
Now-
also need some great stories of me.
Ooh,
Even
that's
if
a
it
good
goes
point.
poorly, I need it to be legendary.
You gotta really push that branding to its limits. Make sure people not only know about you, but they've got fear in their eyes when you walk by.
Indeed. And a t-shirt.
And a t-shirt. Absolutely.
Always got to have the T-shirt.
That's right.
We find that very important.
You gotta
here
get
as well.
that Dr. Death t-shirt
Branding's important.
with the Rona Roamer Raiders.
Exactly.
That's right. Those are the two options for t-shirts.
Now, being that you are a doctor, do you ever create new inventions? I mean, obviously, you have the ability to have power over, legions of the Rona roamers, but do you ever create new inventions for other tasks, or even maybe have blueprints that the Rona roamers create? Because obviously, the Rona roamers aren't going to be able to have the intellect to be able to create these inventions. So that's they could maybe do the manual, but do you ever create blueprints for them to actually create themselves?
A little bit of this, a little bit of that. I'll make sure they have directions, and if I lack a certain set of skills, I'm sure I can find another human willing to not be eaten in exchange for making me something, giving me some blueprints I can follow.
There you go.
That's a good idea.
Yeah, that's a good idea.
Do you ever team up with other supervillains for jobs, or I got a particularly large settlement that I'm gonna raid. I might need like an extra set of hands here, anything like that? Specifically, any other superpowered individuals that you might team up with?
I've worked with a few. I dislike most of them. Most of them are stuck up or in it for the wrong reasons. However, there's one who has some teleportation abilities. He becomes invaluable.
Sure.
Sometimes when raiding super heavily fortified locations.
Oh yeah, you can get through those fortifications easy peasy.
And he gets the best snacks.
He brings them like to the raids. He's like, "Hey guys, I brought snacks." Opens up this bag. He's got like jerky and like who knows what else in there.
Maybe the only reason he's still alive.
Fair enough.
I'd keep him alive too.
Absolutely.
We love
need
our
a guy
snacks.
like that. Well, we got Anthony,
Anthony,
so I
yeah.
guess that's true. So he takes pretty good care of us. So
Boy, Anthony.
absolutely. So
Go get yourself another one.
Yeah. Get yourself. Awesome. Well, yeah. Honestly, I think that's everything we have. If there's anything else you wanted to kind of finish off with, Mr. Death, Dr. Death.
Thank you very much for having me. To all those listening out there, I'm coming for you.
He's coming for us.
Just wait. You will be one of under me eventually. All of you will.
One of us. One of us.
Unless you have good snacks.
That's right. So keep good snacks
good
on
snacks.
hands.
Might save a
else.
life.
That's right. Your life.
And remember branding,
That's
everybody.
right. That's right.
Branding.
You know, in all honesty, I don't know how Catherine Cowbell might feel about the idea of a supervillain, but I'm sure she can truly appreciate the idea that he's out here branding so successfully.
true.
So,
You know, she's a very savvy businesswoman.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm sure, you know, if he was interested in maybe even partaking of her services, I'm sure they could work something out. You know, she seems to work with everybody. She's not very intimidated though, so don't try to come at her with Rona Romers because that probably would not work out well.
speaking of which, Sly, would you like to tell Dr. Death what we're going to be sending his way by way of messenger, more than likely?
Oh my goodness! By way of possibly an expendable messenger?
Yeah,
Sorry.
either expendable messenger or maybe
Pigeon, probably.
Maybe we'll attach it to like a Rona Romer.
Oh, there you go.
Somehow, and then we'll just push the Rona Romer out there, and then Dr. Death, whenever you happen to come across,
maybe
this
Dr.
Rona
Death
Romer,
could
we'll make
send one in this
yeah.
way.
Oh, that's a good idea
We'll
too.
just meet in Kansas City. Seemed to work out well last time. So
That's
we'll just
true.
Send in Kansas City.
Yep.
We'll have another one that kind of sends that way, and they'll meet, and then the ones you control.
Exchange.
Yeah. So maybe that'll work out.
Yeah. So what are we sending off to Dr. Death?
Well, we have a couple things. The first one is, talking about his branding. Well, we do have this old poster that he has, that we have, that he can take and make copies of if you find some old working copying machine. It's kind of this old storybook villain that basically looks, I believe his name was Dr. Deathmaker.
Oh.
So I feel like, scribble out the maker and put posters, Photoshop your face on there, whatever. Print out some posters. Like I said, branding, you're getting yourself out there. And then, I think that's going to be obviously a great way to be able to find that hero that's really going to be a good nemesis for you. And then also, we have a old projector. It's an old slide projector.
Oh, like where you put the little.
Yep. So,
and then it clicks through.
yeah, it's kind of more memorabilia than anything else, but you can use it to put up scary things, or what I could see it being used for is who you're hunting down. I know it's gonna be hard to control the roamers. Well, imagine if you could have a picture of somebody, put it under this, and shine it big enough for the large group to see, and they'd be like, "Oh, that's what we're going after." Like a dog on a scent. So, so that's what we got to send out to you. We'll pack that up on one of the old mules we got lying around here, and send it out with a roamer attached.
That's right, and we'd appreciate if we were not slides that were included on that.
Right. Yeah, we would appreciate that.
You're helping with the branding. You get a pass.
Awesome. All right. Perfect. And we've got good snacks here, but
Right. We aim to help every guest, really.
that's right.
We're never, no matter what they're about, no matter what, we're very open with them and helpful, I feel like, in very many ways.
And of course, to add to that, we have had. I actually just got a call in from Catherine Cowbell while you were talking about what you were going to send off.
Oh my goodness!
And we're going to be sending off as well a 15% off coupon for branding services from Catherine Cowbell and her company. So just in case you're in the area and you want to work with her on getting your name out there, or whatever. She runs a great business, does some great marketing. We've had her on the show a couple times now.
Yeah.
And so definitely worth checking out. She wants to kind of get within this whole superpower trend thing that's going on, whether it be villains, whether it be heroes.
Right.
She's interested in helping you get your name out there because that's a big part of being a hero or villain in the post-apocalyptic world.
Yep. And in the Coronapocalypse, it's all about supporting your local businesses. So
that's right.
There you go.
And your local heroes and your local villains.
Yep.
Got to support your local villains.
Whether or not you want to.
That's right.
Excellent.
Yeah, absolutely. So, all right. Well, again, thank you so much for being on the show, Dr. Death. And it's kind of hard to say. I look forward to seeing you soon, but, hopefully if it's on positive terms, then I do.
Yeah, or hearing from you.
That's right.
Thank you very much.
All right. You have a good one, Dr. Death. Thanks for being on. All right, so you heard that, folks. That was Dr. Death. We're really excited because next week we're actually going to be having a superhero of the apocalypse on. And that's going to be really interesting for sure because obviously there's a nice contrast there.
Exactly.
We're going to have, so.
It'll be interesting to see two sides of the story. We always like to represent, both sides. We never want to, just put information out there that's false. We never want to, be, is it subjective? Is that what it is or is it objective? Objective?
I think it's objective.
We never want to be objective. We always want to be subjective.
Wait, hold on.
Or possibly the other way around.
We want to be unbiased.
We want to be unbiased.
Yeah.
In any of ours. So we want to give you both sides of the story, making sure that you have the information that you need to make sure that you find out the truth for yourself. So we're not endorsing the villain. We're not endorsing the hero. We're putting out their stories out there and letting you decide. And, maybe they'll meet up, get some coffee.
Clash it out. Or get some coffee.
Or clash it out. Whatever.
Something a little less violent.
I feel like they have to see, okay, are we a good fit? Are we going to make a good battle? Are people going to talk about this? Because I think to the core, I think heroes still are selfish. I think heroes want to make sure, they don't want to fight just everyday crime.
No.
Spider-Man would not have been, just happy going around just beating up people that are mugging old ladies, with purses. If he didn't get the Doc Ocks of the world, if he didn't have to fight the Venoms of the world, if he didn't have to fight these other villains, I don't think he would have been very happy with his lot in life.
No.
I think it would have been like, oh, another mugger, blah, 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 blah. Whatever, another bank robber. I think they want to find. So I think the heroes, especially nowadays in kind of the apocalypse we live in, I think they have a what's in it for me attitude. So I think we're going to see it next week and just see, okay, does this guy match up well with a villain? Does Dr. Death and our soon to be named hero work well together? So I think they are going to have to get together and just talk it out and have some quality time together before they do that. That's what I feel.
That's true. That's really deep, Sly. That's a really good point. I like that. That's a good point. And obviously, you kind of want those opposites too.
Oh, yeah.
Just that's going to increase, the epic battle that they have. It's going to increase just the concept of it all. To be honest, when you think about it, and the idea of a superhero and a supervillain collaborating like this, it almost seems like a WWE match or something. Like it's all a little bit pre-written in the concept of we want to see what's the most entertaining for everybody. But
there also are lives at stake.
Yeah, exactly.
So it makes it a little bit.
All the audience could have a chair flung from the ring and
That's true.
Decapitate
You're
them
right.
at any second, but they're going to be entertained as heck until then.
Exactly. I think that makes it, what could possibly happen to me? I think that makes the show that much more entertaining. When something is super safe and easy, it can only be so entertaining. So I think people want to see what, the unpredictable, right? That's why people used to love reality shows. You don't know what's going to happen because this is real stuff, supposedly.
Yeah.
Allegedly. Maybe. Probably not. Written by the script writers to make sure that there's something very important, but named as reality so people think that they don't know what's going to happen. So I think that's what people like to see, and what more reality than when, two juggernauts of, good versus evil, David versus Goliath, or maybe not, depending if they match up like that. But,
if they got about the same height,
yeah.
then it kind of throws off that.
So, I think that's going to be interesting to see. So I'm really excited to see which hero joins us next week and what he's got to say about Dr. Death.
That's right. And it'll be interesting to see, in the end, who ends up going against Dr. Death.
Oh, yeah.
Maybe we'll get a superhero called Dr. Life, and he'll go up against Dr. Death.
Very
I don't
true.
know what that would look like. That'd be something else. Maybe it's Dr. Vaccine.
Vaccine.
And he just runs around. He can shoot vaccine out of his hands and it cleanses the Ronoromers. I have a feeling that would probably ultimately lead to a win for Dr. Vaccine if he can just completely clean out. But who knows? Maybe he can't vaccine fast enough to cleanse all these Ronoromers piling on top of him.
But now if we have Dr. Vaccine, why has he not vaccinated the general wasteland to get us back to normal?
I don't think he exists.
That's probably not.
If he did, I don't think we'd have as much of an issue as we do now.
That's very true.
Unfortunately, I don't.
Or he's just lazy.
That too. And maybe that's another thing. Maybe he's absolutely capable of defeating Dr. Death, but he just really doesn't feel. He's like one of those neutral heroes where he's like, yeah, I'll do it if it like something happens directly to me.
True.
Like if a Ronoromer starts coming at me, yeah, I'll vaccinate it. But like if a Ronoromer's coming at somebody else, yeah, they'll deal with it. It's
or fine. Maybe he just got here because he's from down under.
He's down under.
Under the sea.
I was trying to figure out where you were gonna go with that.
Down under.
He wants to.
He's from down under, mate.
He's going down under.
He had some shrimps on the barbie. If you're catching my drift.
Oh, who knows? And to be honest with you, new superheroes and new supervillains are popping up every day. This is becoming like a very common occurrence, which is really interesting. And we might honestly have to do a few episodes, several episodes, who knows, on this concept of heroes and villains. Heck, maybe all of season 3 ends up being all about different heroes and villains. We'll just have to see what happens.
Maybe we have a collaboration of heroes and villains on the same show. Maybe we debate some topics.
Maybe we have an episode at the end of this season.
Ooh.
Wait, hold on.
Are we giving away too much?
I was gonna say, well, none of this is planned out. Just FYI.
We're just giving you. We're just talking.
We're just spitballing here. Sometimes these ideas just come to us.
Just us girls.
That's right.
Rebecca, get back out of here.
Ever since we gave her the address to this bunker, she's always just popping up around. Did you find me somebody to go out with ya? Yeah. Oh my gosh.
Guys, just check out this setter over here.
If you don't know who Rebecca is, check out our finale episode of season 1. And that's all the information you need on that.
And then we'll give her your address so she bothers you.
That's right. Send us your addresses, and you might get a visit from Rebecca.
Maybe you want to go on a date with her. She likes junkyards.
That's right.
Stuff like that. So
she's interesting. She's
she
fun.
Is interesting.
She's different.
She is different.
That's right.
If you are sick of boring, same old run-of-the-mill girls, and you want something unique, Rebecca is for you.
For you. I don't know why I went a little bit
down under.
Well, whatever the case, we don't know which superhero it is that we're going to have next week. That's still in the works. Anthony is obviously getting in touch with a number of superheroes who are interested. We've actually got an application that we've been filling out. Now, supervillains were a lot easier to get. It was easier to tone down to one. Just because many of them are kind of selfish with their time, they're usually out raiding, or they're just generally too dangerous for us to have.
I was gonna say, or they're
here in the studio
trying to murder people.
Exactly, and that's just not something we want. So that's why we had Dr. Death on. He's a reasonable guy, He's obviously, he wants what he wants, but thankfully at the current moment he didn't want to kill us, and what he did want was to be on the podcast, and it gets his name out. Again, this is all about marketing. All comes back to marketing.
It's all
he
the
wanted
marketing.
to get his name out. We had an audience to do so, and there we go. So, but we don't have the superhero yet because apparently all of them want to be on pretty much, it seems like. So we're still figuring out which one. I can't give anything away now because I don't know. But definitely check back in next week because by then we will know.
Right. The Superheroes Union has told us that we will have a hero on. So
that's right.
Hopefully he's someone that will be a big enough name or at least large enough in capacity to be able to go up against Dr. Death.
Yeah.
Who is fairly well known. He's a rising star.
I know he said minor, but that was just him being humble.
It was him being humble.
In all honesty, he's definitely getting up there in his name. I'm sure you've probably heard of him. If you haven't, now you have.
Yeah.
So congratulations. Look out. If you see a large group of Ronoromers, you might need to rush over to the next settlement
or put out your snacks.
Yeah.
On your doorstep.
Ooh, that's actually a good idea too. Hopefully you're a farmer.
Yes.
Because that's what he's going to ask next.
Yep.
So, all right, awesome. So again, thanks for listening to today's episode. We hope that you enjoyed our chat with a supervillain. And don't forget to check out next week's episode. As usual, you can find us on iTunes, Spotify, YouTube even. Pretty much anywhere that you can find a podcast, we have our podcast there. That's the Apocalypse Bros. In case you forgot our name since we mentioned it at the beginning.
Apocalypse Bros.
We are the Apocalypse Bros. We're going to say it one more time before we end. Before we end, though, don't forget to, if you're on iTunes, don't forget to drop us a review. We love to hear from our wasteland survivors out there. Tell us a little bit about what's happening in the apocalypse. Tell us how maybe some of our tips or maybe some of our guest tips have helped you out in the apocalyptic wasteland and surviving out there. Drop those in the comments or the reviews like I mentioned before. Also, make sure to swing by our Bunker Facebook page. Just facebook.com/apocalypsebros. Pretty simple.
Check out the polls.
That's
check out the
right.
conversations. Just get involved with the community.
Get involved with the community. We'd love to hear from you. I'm sure they'd love to hear from you. Every survivor out there is having a different experience out there in the wasteland, and we want to know all about all of them. Who knows? Maybe it might lead to an opportunity where we might even have you as a guest star on our next episode.
That'd be exciting.
That would be really exciting. I'm excited. Sly's excited. Anthony's excited. That's right, buddy.
Yep.
So definitely do that. Make sure to stop by. Let us know what's going on. We'd love to hear from you. I think that's everything that I've got.
That's all I got.
All right. Well, this has been another episode of
The Apocalypse Bros.